Hello, welcome to my channel, and this is the next video of which I'm preparing the series of career development, motivation, career advice, etc. And these videos are mostly targeted at young professionals, graduates, and people who are doing their graduation, etc. And one of the questions, one of the this is as you would have come to this video looking for something like general writing tips, how to write your journal or diary as a beginner, etc. So journal writing, etc. What could be something like writing down points daily about something which is happening in your life or something important which you want to note down. So I would like to say that I personally used to write down journals. I used to keep a diary some time back, but I know I don't write anything, or I don't believe in much for keeping a journal. I want to keep a journal as I'm doing most of my work on the white paper. So I just keep the white paper, then I just stack them out in a bunch out there. So I don't just really keep a diary or a journal, but I used to keep them. And while I was working, also I used to keep a journal, but I did not note down important things on a day-to-day basis. But still, for most of the people, what I found it very useful while I was doing that, while I was keeping a journal and also keeping a diary. So for me currently, it has not become much important as I'm not doing things which requires much of, like I'm not attending many meetings daily. I'm not doing things which needs to be done at a specific time. I need to meet somebody, or things which I need to remember, like I want to do after 10 days. I want to note that down. So such kind of things are not there. Even I have not a habit of doing that previously, also using a journal. But for some people, it could be important and it could be appealing to keep a journal as journal writing. So if you are really into this video and if you are really looking for some advice about journal writing apps, you could be that's why you could be seeing this video. So, is it worth writing a journal? So, the first point is that why you would use to write a journal or a diary. So, I would advise that if you are really looking to keep a journal or diary, yes, you keep it and you should keep a journal. And one of the important, but you should use it for only. But what I would, it's a personal advice again, like the many of the videos which I have prepared, should prepare it. One of the should not forget one of the important points or important means why you want to keep a journal, why you want to prepare a journal. So you should use that to note down important points, like something, if you attended a lecture today, something important happened, there is an assignment that is going to happen after 10 days, or there you are working in X company, a meeting is going to happen after some days, or you have to meet somebody, you have to pay your friend something after some amount of time. So if you forget such kind of things, then you should keep a journal. If you can remember, then you could avoid such kind of things noting down. Again, if there is something important that has happened today, like important point which was discussed in a lecture which you want to note down, such kind of things you can note down on a journal. But again, my advice is to keep those points as specific as possible and keep them as short as possible rather than writing long stories. So you could keep your expenses, like you had a monthly budget of 10,000 rupees and today you spend 1,000 rupees you plan to spend. Such plans also you can note down and try to be as specific and as small as possible and as to point as possible. Suppose you had a college visit today to a company visit today, so you could note down that I visited this company on this day. And yes, I never used to do that while I was doing. But this is advice to, if you have come to this video looking for the general writing tips, as I am here to explain to you. While I wrote diaries in a general means, I did not never note down. But speaking about specifically general writing, this is what you could do to keep them as small as possible, keep the points as relevant as possible rather than mixing up and rather than putting long stories there. And you could use one journal for a period of a year, for a period of 2 years or 3 years. So you could buy a diary to keep a journal, or there are specifically books which are available online, or you could go to the supermarket or the stores to purchase such kind of books which are known as journals or diaries. Specifically, I find diary too bulky for as a journal, and I would try to use simple white books or white paper books as journal, and you could number them date wise, or you could, if you are finding it boring to number them date wise, or you are things irrelevantly, etc. Such kind of thoughts could also come to your mind. And it could really happen that if you are buying a journal in which the dates are not mentioned, or a white paper book, then you could, after some time, you could get lazy and you could miss down the continuity of what you're doing. So again, you could do that manually, you could buy a journal, that's all up to you. But my advice, based on my personal experience, what I want to give through this video is that keep the same book for a period of 3 to 4 years, and keep them as small and as specific as possible. And don't mix down them to write long stories, because writing long stories would totally ruin the purpose of your general writing. Again, writing important points can give you better understanding. I would have wished that I would have written down things, but again, it don't matter now, because I don't want to look down into detail of everything. But for somebody, it could matter that they want to look down into detail of everything. And in such kind of situations, point wise mentioning everything could be a good idea. uh, Also, daily, if you are really finding things difficult, and if you really finding things difficult in a way which I want to say is that really finding difficult to get into a routine, or keeping a routine for a period of one, because I am myself is not into a fixed routine right now, but I want to get into a routine. But that could be a good idea. But anyway, if you want to get into a good routine over a period of 6 months, 7 months, it's possible to write down things daily in the routine, in the next day, whatever things you want to do, and keep on writing them could bring into a routine over a period of 1 year in your life. So that's also possible by general writing. So that's a tip which I want to give about general writing, or how to write a journal or a diary for yourself.